What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Phaithful Phanatics Show. We are live here, as always, on the DSM-Media Philadelphia YouTube channel, as well as the DSM Twitter page. So make sure to check us out on Twitter. First and foremost, at DSM_media is where you can find us. Make sure to tap in and hit that follow button. And then if you want to be interactive throughout today's show or any one of our live streams, like you can see pulled up on the screen underneath my man, Scotty, make sure to check out the YouTube link. It's in our link tree in the Twitter bio. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, family, any other Philly sports fans that you may know that could enjoy the content. I'm one half your host, Dylan Davis. To my left, my faithful co-host, Scotty. The Sixers dropped both in the back-to-back in Chicago and in Cleveland. We're going to address those two losses and take a look ahead over the weekend. Another back-to-back, this time in Philly. The Black Unis, the 2001 throwback court, is back this weekend, taking on the Raptors on Saturday night and then the Pistons on Sunday night. So we got a lot to discuss in Sixers land, both positive and negative. And then the Birds, we have a couple days to talk about them. They have an off day Sunday. Why, Scotty? Because they play Monday Night Football in Lambeau against those Green Bay Packers. So we'll have a pregame show for you guys Monday night to get into it, but we will touch on it. Eagles opening up at 2.5-point underdogs. I haven't checked if they're still sitting at that 2.5 line, although I believe they still are. Interesting. With the Packers coming off of a home loss to the Carolina Panthers, the Eagles making some additions at the deadline, coming off of a bye week, getting healthier. We'll see how that one plays out. We'll give our thoughts. It's going to be a busy show, my man, but happy Friday, and what is going on?
Happy Friday, my brother. As you mentioned, busy show. It's been a busy week, and it's only going to get busier as we get further entrenched into the NBA season and the Sixers season. We also had the MLB free agency, kickoff the other day. Was it yesterday? I'm
yeah, all those windows, those periods open up now, and guys.
Yeah, MLB is a little different.
Thrown at them.
MLB's a little different from what I was reading. The last couple years of experience, kind of with the show and monitoring MLB free agency, it takes a little bit longer for things to formulate in that league for some reason. But no, it's an exciting time, man. We get Eagles football back this week, which I'm super happy about. Obviously, we've talked about the additions already. I'm excited to see if we get to see some of these guys. I'm pretty sure Jalen Phillips is going to be out there, but I'm interested to see if Jair Alexander or Michael Carter II. I haven't seen much about Michael Carter. I have seen obviously Jair Alexander speaking to the media and such, but it'll be interesting to see who can get on the field, man. That's what I'm excited for. See some new faces. Get AJ back on the field as well. He said he should be good to go for Monday. So yeah. I'm excited, man. I got some juice with me today, man.
All right,
sipping on my Flyers coffee.
There you go. Sixers
Flyers stuff last night. Am I mistaken?
They
won 3-1. 3-1.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Still at it. Mitch Cobb got a goal last night. Zegras looking for an extension, possibly, if you're Flyers. How quickly do you want to get that kid locked up? We haven't touched on any puck so far this year. We'll have to dive into it
next week. Next week,
season keeps evolving. Yeah, we'll
get a weekend of puck in us.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Sounds all right. I think you're all right.
Pause. I don't know. I don't know if that sounds right or not, but get a weekend of that, and we'll come back with some fresh stuff on Monday, man.
Let's start by keeping the energy up then, because obviously the Sixers talk is going to be a little bit more pessimistic, a little more negative later on in the show. So it doesn't have to be. We'll see what the comments are looking like flying in. Obviously, it was a negative 2 nights. It doesn't mean that the world is all gloom and doom now. But obviously, we'll talk about all that stuff. That
Brian, you there? Brian Pumper, you there?
Let's start with that Eagles team, man, and let's continue to talk about those additions in Michael Carter II, Jair Alexander, both addressing the CB2 or the cornerback room in general. I know, was it Vic or how someone made a comment that Michael Carter has also played safety before, so that could be something, that could be a spot they throw him in at times and have some depth there at least. And then obviously the Jalen Phillips addition was the big one, was the splash to help that pass rush. They also obviously have Brandon Graham returning on Monday night, which you and I kind of discussed vibes-wise, personality-wise, leadership-wise.
Yeah.
So excited to have a legend back like BG. We'll see what he has left in the gas tank in terms of on the field. And Nakobe Dean, another week back, getting acclimated within this defense.
Yeah.
You now have Dean, Campbell, and Bond in that linebacker room, man. I'm getting even more excited about this team than I've already been, right? You and I have stayed very steady with the fact that this team is a Super Bowl caliber team. They took their lumps. They took a very, very bad loss, blowing a 10-point lead at home to the Broncos and then following it up with an atrocity against a bad Giants team. But they've bounced back in a major way. They're getting healthy. And I'm looking at this defense, man. That's where I'm starting to get excited because this defense has been stellar. This defense has turned teams over, has given this offense advantages, right? Has scored this season. The special teams has made plays and scored this season. They've quite literally kept this offense in games at times. But the defense, even though the offense has been more of the talking point, the offense has the talent that you're just waiting for them to take off, right? For blast off. Defensively, it's almost like you're waiting for the opposite effect, right? Like they're playing at a pretty high level, but you're still concerned with the pass rushing numbers. They're getting gashed on the ground at times with the run game. CB2 is a clear issue, right?
Yeah.
If one of those two guys pans out, and I'm more so talking about Jair Alexander, don't get me wrong. Like if Michael Carter II come in and be valuable to this team, I'm happy. It's just going to come at the cost of moving pieces around because I think he has to play in the slot. And now you're tinkering with moving Coop to the outside, which I'm not saying he can't do, but it's a little bit more of a domino effect as to where if Jair Alexander can rejuvenate himself, right, and play on the outside, that changes things. I'm looking at all these pieces, man, and I'm getting the end of last year's defense vibes. Right now, obviously, maybe the pass rush numbers totally won't be there because of what Josh Sweat and Milton Williams and everything. You're getting Nolan Smith back soon as well. I'm looking at all these pieces around the board, and I'm saying this defense is back to feeling like loaded. And I'm excited to see what Vic Fangio is going to do with these newly acquired toys, what he can do with a Nolan Smith and Jalen Phillips possibly on the field together at times next to a Jalen Carter. And I'm getting the itch that this defense is about to turn into dominant. They've been very, very good all year, but that Super Bowl run, they were dominant. It just feels like they're about to hit that stride for me.
I do feel you. I feel you. The additions, I mean, as I stated earlier, they're exciting. I think the big thing for me is Jair Alexander. Like I have to see it. I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic about it. That he can get back to not a top 10-ish level, not like that, but a top CB2 level to follow up Quinyon Mitchell. But no, I think Howie, he went out, he took some swings, and I think they were the right swings to take. We just got to see how they pan out. The Jalen Phillips addition, I think, is the one I'm most excited about, to your point.
Absolutely.
His addition to that defensive line. And I think it complements, it makes the BG addition better when you add a Jalen Phillips and then you think about Nolan Smith coming back as well. Then you think about the rotation, you think about Jalen Hunt and the success he's had of late. And that's where it starts to get really exciting for me. So I do feel you there. The big thing for me, man, is the depth, because at the end of the day, all it would take for this defense to, I don't want to use the wrong terminology here, but for this defense to fall apart is Q go down.
Yeah.
Coop DeJean go down. I mean, even Reed Blankenship, man, if he went down, and I don't think I'm as high as most people on Reed Blankenship, but he is a leader in the defense. He is a stable point in the secondary at this point in his career. And if he went down, who the fuck is replacing Reed Blankenship even? And so, like, when I look at it from that standpoint, you talk about Michael Carter II, it's like, well, Makuba, he's been, up and down this season, as rookies usually are. You now have the ability to mix him in there, maybe take a little bit off of Reed Blankenship as well, because I'm sure he's been playing most, if not all, of the snaps this season at that safety position. And, on the outside, Jair Alexander having another option there as well, moving Keeley and Adoree Jackson into now depth pieces. If Quinyon goes down, if Quinyon goes down, it's not going to be great, right? We've seen our team without him this season. He had the hamstring injury earlier this year. It's not going to be great, and there's nobody that's going to really directly fill in for that. But it makes you a lot more comfortable if one of those detrimental things were to happen. And I would say the same thing with the defensive line. I would say, at this point, with the depth that we've mounted up, the one player that I think we just is irreplaceable completely is Jalen Carter. I think that is the guy on the defensive line that there's nobody else on the roster that's going to be able to do what he does. Now, Jordan Davis has stepped up this year. You obviously have Moro Ojomo in the middle, but that's a good thing. That's one position, man. Like that is a good thing. I mean, I'm saying that in a positive manner. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. For you to only have maybe one player on your defense that is not replaceable. And, credit to Bond. I'm not disrespecting these guys. Like, Bond is a playmaker.
Yeah,
I understand that. But Jihad and Nakobe, if you had to go a game or two without Bond, it's not the worst.
Survive, right? And not just survive.
Yeah.
Look at last year. You lost Nakobe next to Bond, and Oren Burke stepped up in a playoff run. So, look, you're 1,000% correct. The depth obviously plays a factor because without these guys, and look, maybe they don't pan out. Maybe we are getting ahead of ourselves. And Jacorian Bennett didn't work, and
Kevin Byard,
didn't work, and just nobody that we bring in is going to work across from Quinyon Mitchell. But with the
I don't think so, but
you
never know.
If you didn't have any of these guys available to you, and Quinyon or Cooper, knock on wood, did get hurt down the stretch here, now you have two glaring holes to where if a Jair Alexander is playing solid football across from Q, and then Q was to God forbid go down. Now maybe you're only looking at it would be such a domino effect, man. But you are right. Obviously, the more confident, the bigger pickup here is the pass rusher in Jalen Phillips. The confidence that obviously he played with under Vic Fangio's leadership and play calling a few years ago in Miami even boosts that. But you mentioned like a Jalix Hunt, right? The how he's been playing, and some of these other guys, they kind of get pushed down. A Josh Uche, right, who's been playing pretty well for this Eagles team, gets asked to do not less, right? You still want him to go out there and do what he's been doing, but like he's not your starting edge rusher across from Jalix Hunt right now. And it's kind of very similar to when we talk about the Phillies lineup adding a bat at the top or middle of the line. Like when we talk trade deadline or this offseason, right? When, we have this great lineup, or we have this depth lineup until you get to about 7 or whatever. And now if you just added an Alex Bregman, or you just added a Kyle Tucker, so on and so forth, and it pushes that back end down, they're asked to do more, you're deeper. That's what Jalen Phillips provides here. Because now Jalen Phillips is the start. Jalen Phillips is that guy that Hassan Reddick from 2022, right? Maybe he's not gonna go out and get 17.5 sacks, right? Anything like that. But he's that star. He's that number one option coming off the edge. And now everyone else, that depth, gets pushed a little bit down, but they can all play to a decent to high level like they've been playing recently. So it's a huge addition, obviously. I don't have to be overstating that.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, man. You think about when Nolan Smith comes back, and I was actually just gonna check really quick because I'll be honest, I haven't looked that far to see which side Jalen Phillips plays on. Does he play on the right or the left? Does he have a preference?
I don't know that it matters. If I remember watching any Miami Dolphins football, if I am the defensive line facing the offensive line, he's on the left. So he would be on Lane Johnson's
on the right
side.
Yeah. Oh. Lane. So on the left of the defensive line, I got you. So I got you.
If I remember correctly.
Offense perspective, the right side, but I got what you're saying.
I feel like Bradley Chubb comes off the other side of the line of scrimmage.
So I feel like Nolan is on that same side.
But like if you're a guy like Jalen Phillips, does that matter all that much? Like, does that change your technique, how you attack a quarterback? Like I
don't know. It depends.
I would just think of all those positions, those edge rusher. I would just feel like you can just crisscross.
The really good ones. The really good ones can.
Right.
The really good ones can. It's just, are they as effective, or are you going to be better off just kind of bringing one on and taking one off if they do have to play the same side? But yeah, I guess we'll find out ultimately how they'll deploy them whenever we get Jalen Phillips on the field ultimately.
Yeah.
But
and it's funny, bro, because the other day when they made the trade, you had asked me like, re-signing Jalen Phillips, does this come with an extension in the near future, etc.? And then afterwards, I was sitting there afterwards and I was like, man, probably not, right? Because of the Jalen Carter money and all the other things Howie's going to have to do. Probably not. And then you showed me the clip of him speaking to our media at his locker after practice.
Yeah.
And now this is the greatest moment of his life.
Yeah.
And it's the weather here, coming from Miami, the weather here, everything.
You're slicing it now. You know what I mean?
You luck into a dude. Maybe they go on another championship run, and this dude who loves it here and went from Miami to here and is in a winning. Maybe we fall into a dude that's willing to come back. We'll see. So that clip was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, when he said the weather shit.
Where did he go to college?
He went to Miami. He went to the U.
Went to the U, played in Miami in his professional career, but the weather here, mind you, it's getting like chilly here now. Like this ain't like September.
Maybe it's not as hot. Maybe that's what he means. Like maybe it's better at practice and stuff.
It, but I would assume anyone that grew. Oh, maybe he didn't grow up there, right? Like I don't know where his hometown is.
He looks like a Miami dude, though. He does.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, no, it was exciting to see him speak about it like that.
But exciting at the same time, right? Like exciting to have a guy get traded here because you never know. Guys, their lives are uprooted, right? Like maybe I don't know what his family situation is like. I don't know what his home's like, everything like that. His life gets uprooted halfway through the year. Now he's up in the Northeast. Obviously, he's going to come here. He's going to do his job. He's going to try to win. But what's his personality like? Is he, does he want to be here? You get a guy that seemingly comes out and just praises day one of being here. Yeah, it's nice, and maybe it translates Monday night onto the field, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, he should be excited to step on the field with these guys. To your point, man, it could. Who knows? It's going to depend on how he plays ultimately, how he fits in, and they may end up having to make some decisions. I mean, Nakobe Dean's not under contract after a certain point. Do you take a Jalen Phillips over a Nakobe Dean when you already have Jahad Campbell? And so, like, there's going to be decisions to be made. Jordan Davis as well. There's a couple guys looking for extensions. I don't think it's going to impact Jalen Carter, but
no.
Yeah,
now,
it was if he plays well enough.
Let's take a peep at this game, man, because now I'm seeing the line is sitting at 1.5. I'm on ESPN's website. So
they must have felt my bet this morning. I already threw the money in on the Eagles. I already threw it down, so they must have felt me this morning to move that line.
Look, this is a big game, bigger for the Packers. If you're the Packers coming off of that bad loss, you've already lost to the Browns. Like you're the team that has to prove yourself in a sense, right? Lost the Eagles twice last year, once in the playoffs. You're at home in Lambeau, prime time. So this is obviously a bigger, more needed spot for Green Bay. This is a needed spot for Dylan Davis because I just want to shut everyone the fuck up when it comes to the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love and et cetera, et cetera. So I really, really, really want this game for our Birds, obviously. But real quick, I don't know this answer for you. Are you a YouTube TV customer?
Yeah, I was. I actually had to bite the bullet. I can't remember what. It might have been Monday Night Football actually, but it was the fact that Duke was playing on ESPN the next night, so I had to buy the ESPN like Hulu shit. But yeah, we canceled YouTube.
I was going to say because I saw Bill Colarulo from the Fanatic tweeted out a bunch of. The Birds play on Monday night, so like if you're in the area, what are you doing if you have YouTube TV?
Yeah, you gotta bite the bullet, man.
What a fucking
illegal stream,
bro. I'm still over here with cable, so
man, it might end up well for you. ESPN, man, just on a side note, ESPN and Disney, they're greedy as fuck. Like, that is...
I see people blaming, like, ESPN, oh, no, it's Disney, fuck that mouse. Like, I don't know who's more at fault. I did see something the other day on Twitter that, and it was from, like, a prominent page. It wasn't just, like, some random troll throwing it around.
Yeah.
Disney's losing like every day that Disney does not have ESPN and ESPN channels streaming, they're losing like
Oh no,
millions.
Disney is with ESPN. Disney
Yes,
owns ESPN,
yes,
ABC, like they're all
yes.
together. But YouTube TV is the one that couldn't meet
Right.
in the middle with
Sorry.
Disney. Yeah.
Every day
YouTube TV's losing that
that
money.
Disney is not being used through YouTube TV, Disney is
Oh, they're losing money.
losing millions. Yes, I said
Okay.
ESPN. I meant to say through YouTube.
Okay,
Disney
I
is
got you.
losing millions of money by not being by not having
Interesting.
that access. Yeah.
So it goes
So
both ways in a sense.
yeah,
Yeah. That's
I don't know.
interesting, man. Hopefully,
It's just funny. You are
I've
right.
already bit the bullet.
It's
I'm
one
on
word,
Hulu
brother.
now.
It's one word. I know it's business. Business is business. Doesn't matter if it's a small business or the biggest
Yeah.
corporations in the world, like these two. But like, just great. Like, come on, dude. Like,
It's so
I
greedy,
can't
man.
imagine the conversations that are going on behind closed doors for the money differential or the
Yeah.
deal, whatever it is, for
Yeah.
why this can't get done. I cannot imagine the billions that they're discussing and that one side isn't happy enough. It's pretty funny, but nonetheless, Eagles do play on ESPN on Monday night against Green Bay, man. 1.5 point underdogs right now. I love it. I love everything about this line. I love that.
Yeah.
This I don't know. I just how
It is a
I
good thing.
felt
I
about
agree.
this Green Bay Packers team since before we played them in Brazil last year, leading into the playoff matchup. Just the way that people speak about this quarterback, hearing guys on national television, speaking of ESPN, that have followed and analyzed or played this sport years before I was even created, brother. Like, this is how long they've been doing this job. And to come on a set and say that if you were to start a franchise with any NFC quarterback right now, you would take Jordan Love. He has all the tools in the chain. I don't know what you watch. Jordan Love is a talented quarterback. Jordan Love is a good quarterback. Jordan Love will always make the wrong mistake at the wrong time, or make the big mistake in the biggest time.
So he's Dak.
Yes. Except he beat Dak in Jerry World a few years ago, which was funny, right? Like his rookie year. So that was hilarious for us at the time. But yeah, Jordan Love and this Green Bay Packers team have not accomplished a goddamn thing since he's taken over, 4 years ago? Like, people keep acting like he's Jaden Daniels, like he's in year 2 or year 1.5. The dude's in like year 4 or 5. Has not accomplished a thing. Has the third best rusher last year behind him. Has a top whatever defensive unit. And people talked all about that leading into that matchup in the postseason. And guess what? It got them a big fat nothing. And that's what they're going to get on Monday night, bro. This team has lost to the Browns, and he has turned the ball over. They have lost to the Panthers, and he has turned the ball over. They are going to lose to the Eagles on Monday night, and he is going to turn the ball over.
Interesting. Okay. I like it, though. I do. I ultimately do. I agree. I think the Eagles are going to win this game. It's just funny, man. You know that the Packers are going to come out and I think they'll play their best game. I really do. I think
right. They won't look
loss,
like they did against Carolina. Don't get that twisted, right? Like
they will play their best game.
It might look more.
Doesn't mean like Jordan Love will, but they will as a unit. I do think they'll give us a bit of a test.
Like that Brazil game where they're leading at some point in the second or third quarter, where he does have 2 big plays, or they take the top off the defense. Like, it is, their offense is going to have more firepower than they did against the Carolina Panthers. That doesn't mean the Panthers defense is better than the Eagles. It's just how the game's going to play out, bigger stakes, whatever.
Yeah.
He's still going to make the crucial mistake. And correct me if I'm wrong, he did it in Brazil, because I remember the Reed Blankenship diving pick in week 1 last year. And I know for a fact, how many picks did he have in
might have gotten it. Did he throw the pick, or did he get injured and then the pick get thrown? I can't remember.
He threw that.
I remember he got injured, though.
Pick, and then in the postseason, did he throw 2 or 3 picks? Because I know Bond had one towards the end of the head. Like, he turned the ball over in both games against the Eagles. Every game I can think of that Jordan Love has had a big moment in, he is crash landed with a turnover. And it's just going to happen again. That's the confidence that I have, not only in him to fuck up, but in the Eagles defense.
Something I'm gonna keep an eye on with the Packers, man. I've been saying this on Turf Talk a little bit, but Tucker Kraft,
Yeah,
he's a big
it's a
part of
huge
their
loss.
offense.
Yeah.
Obviously, he goes out for season with the torn ACL. Yeah, that's gonna be a big missing piece for Jordan Love. Um, you could argue he's been his most reliable target. Just from I haven't watched every Packers game, but just from the games that I have watched, he is a popular target for Jordan Love. But yeah, I think it's great that the Eagles are underdogs going into this. I just think it kind of sets the tone for them. No reason to come in, thinking not that they would. This is a big game. Like they're not going to come into this, sleeping or feeling arrogant or overly confident. But
Yeah.
coming in with that chip on your shoulder, as always, just always looking for narratives to fuel motivation. And I think this is an easy one to throw in there, being underdogs against a team that you just simply haven't lost to recently. So, yeah, I'm excited for the game. I'm excited for the matchup. I think I'm even more excited that they are coming off a loss. So maybe we do get like a good shot from them because I don't want any excuses. I would almost like them to lose and Jordan Love like play decent just
Yeah.
so that they can see that it's not really
And brother,
a
like I
contest.
said, like it's funny because they're very Commanders like to me. This has nothing to do with the
I
Green
think
Bay
they're
Packers.
better than the Commanders. I think
What'd
they're
you say?
better than the Commanders, bro.
No.
Their defense is
That's
way
not what I'm
better.
saying. That's not what I'm saying. I agree. I think they're much better than the Commanders. What I'm saying, they're very Commanders like to me in the reason I dislike them. It's
Fair.
not what
Not
they
bad.
do on the field. It's their fan base and it's how people talk about them and talk about their quarterback and just talk
Yeah.
and in comparison and this team that hasn't proved a damn thing
Yeah.
is put up there and they're the biggest test or they're
Yeah.
the favorites and they're this and he's the quarter. It drives me a little bit insane, man. And I'll tell you something I'm looking at for this Monday night game. You mentioned Kraft being out. He's their leading receiver as a tight end for Green Bay this year. So that's obviously a huge blow to their offense. The physicality he provides, the yak he provides. I mean, you see it almost every week when you watch a Packer game. But last year, Saquon had the ridiculous MVP type year, offensive player of the year, hasn't really gotten going until last week, right? Him and Tank Bigsby or 2 weeks ago, tore the Giants defense apart, right? Josh Jacobs also finished like third in rushing last year behind him and Derrick Henry. Well, Josh Jacobs this year, all the talk around Saquon is, he hasn't gotten going. He doesn't have a game over, 80 yards before the Giants game and blah, blah, blah. Josh Jacobs has like 17 more rushing yards than Saquon Barkley does this year. Josh Jacobs does not have a game with 100 rushing yards this year. He does not have a game over 93 rushing yards this year, and that came against the Cincinnati Bengals defense. Now, don't get me wrong. He's got 10 tutties. He's finding the end zone a lot. They get inside the 5. They feed him the rock. Good on them. Good on him. They should do so. My point is, I'm sitting here talking about turning a quarterback over. What's the best way to turn Jordan Love over? Make that offense one fucking dimensional. And if you can limit, and we'll talk about this on Monday, if you can limit Josh Jacobs and that ground attack, hasn't rushed for more than 93 yards in a single outing this year. You limit that this week and you make Jordan Love drop back 37 plus times on Monday night, and the goods are going to come home. Trust me.
And that's the game plan for the Packers. Run the football, throw the ball on third down. I'm telling you, man, I can see it now. They can come out and play conservative football. They'll run the football. To your point, that's going to be the biggest key when we discuss this game on Monday is shutting down Josh Jacobs on their offense and making them one-dimensional. Because that is something the Eagles have struggled with, is stopping the run at times this season. So you don't want the breakthrough game to be on your squad, right?
Correct.
So,
and look, and at that point, if you limit or take away Josh Jacobs and obviously Tucker Kraft is out, you're talking about them missing their two biggest options, their two favorite options, right? You're talking about then at that point, a Christian Watson, a Matthew Golden, a Romeo Dobbs having to beat you. And we'll see if that's possible. That's what we're going to find out on Monday night. But a lot more to talk about. Obviously, on Monday we'll do, if we have, we'll have a Faithful Fanatics because of the Sixers weekend. So we'll hint at it there, and then obviously we'll have the pregame to really get into things for keys to victory and everything. But man, let's transition here. I'm shocked, man. I'm shocked and quite frankly a little disappointed in our faithful viewers and in Martian and Pumper, because I haven't heard from them yet. And we heard from Pumper at the end of Turf Talk yesterday. I expected to see him here today. We don't see him. Sixers drop a back-to-back. And the frustrated look, they're 5-3, right? They've lost 2 in a row. They've lost 3 of 4 after their 4-0 start. It's a little frustrating. They're still trying to get healthy. But what occurred Wednesday is why Tuesday was such a bad look and just couldn't happen. You were never going to win that game in Cleveland. Now, maybe I didn't expect you to be down 25 with 9 minutes left. Maybe I didn't expect you to be down 14 in the first 2.5 minutes of the ball game and show up that lifeless and sloppy and turning the ball over at a ridiculous clip. All right. Maybe it could have been a little bit better of a ball game. They lose by 11 at the end, but you weren't winning that game. It's scheduled back-to-back. Joel plays Tuesday. He ain't playing Wednesday. McCain returns Tuesday. He ain't playing Wednesday. You're already down Barlow. You're already down PG. You're missing a lot of guys heading into Cleveland who's getting Darius Garland back that night on top of everything else, right? You can't blow that lead in Chicago. And there's numerous reasons, and you were saying some thoughts about Nick Nurse and just how they use Joel minute-wise down the stretch in the second half, and then obviously what the offense looked like and what Joel looked like offensively coming back. I mean, this team blew, a 24-point lead against the Chicago Bulls. They went 0 for 11 in the last 6+ minutes of the game. Their only 2 points in the last 6 minutes came at the free throw line. They didn't hit a single, I believe, 3-pointer in the second half. If I remember correctly, they were 11 for 22 at halftime. They finished with 11 made threes in the game. The ball just stuck offensively. Yeah, Joel was not good down the stretch. He got the ball late in the shot clock, took a one-legger three, fade away at the top of the key. Maxey couldn't get anything to go down the stretch, even though he had a great night. The offense was bad. The defense was obviously porous in the second
Seeing
half.
it again.
Yeah.
Seeing it again. It's driving me nuts. Oh, my God. The Joel step back off 1 foot.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
He's a funny dude sometimes, man. My goodness.
It's just frustrating because, like I said, Tyrese Maxey finishes with 39. He was 14 of 26 from the field. It's just...
Did all the misses come in the fourth?
Right. It's just so ironic because he couldn't hit anything in the last 6. Like,
I swear some of the shots went over the rim. Yeah.
39, 14 of 26, and they went scoreless from the field in the last 6+ minutes. You would think, but if that dude was having that type of night, he was just going to take us home. And that's not to say it's his fault, right? When you put up those numbers, and you ain't the guy I'm pointing to say you didn't get the job done. It's just frustrating, man. The way that they went out in this game. Joel, 7 for 21. I think my biggest gripe with him again, man, we saw it last year when he did play in limited time. 1 for 6 from 3. Scott, and look, and I know the conditioning. I know the body. I know he's not trying to get down and get on the block and just go to work and ISO over and over again. It'd be one thing if he took 6 to 7 threes a night and was hitting 3 of them. The Boston game when I pointed out that he was taking too many threes, he was 0 for 5 or 0 for 6. This game, he's 1 for 6. Stop chucking threes when it's not your night from beyond the arc. It's the most infuriating fucking thing I've ever watched in his game, man.
Yeah. No, I do agree. Especially late in games, man. It's just not like what it's just often settled for. And I think the biggest, not the
best shot you can get.
The biggest gripe for me, man, is when he pump fakes and then tries to shoot it over the extended hand. Like, just shoot it the first time if you're going to shoot it. Be confident in the shot and take it. Like, that's the one thing that he does that pisses me off. Mm-hmm. Like, literally, dude is closing out and you pump fake there. He's in
And then
closeout already. He's there, and you decide to shoot it over him
right.
and make it a
He's trying
contested
to fail base
three-pointer.
too much to an
It
extent.
just makes zero sense. It's not. He needs to kind of eliminate that from his game, quite honestly. But he's obviously still working his way back, getting
For
conditioned,
sure.
everything. That was obviously just not a great showcase from him. To your point about the game as a whole, man, this just blew my mind when I actually put the numbers together. But Philly actually outscored the Bulls 75-56. That was the score at halftime, and they were outscored 57-36 in the second half. And you think about where the Sixers have had success this year. It's been in the second half. It's been in the fourth quarter, to be specific. They've had horrible third quarters, yes, but the fourth quarters have been their bounce back spot, their closeout spot, and where they've been able to have success. So it was disappointing to kind of see them close out this game like this.
Man.
And, just thinking about going into this game, right, and the way we talked about it, I think maybe it was Monday. Maybe it was Tuesday. We might have hit the Sixers pregame show.
We did.
I remember we talked about this game going into it.
Yeah.
The Bulls are 5-1. The Sixers are 5-1. This is a big moment. You can go into Chicago and kind of show there's levels to this season already, even with this squad that you have. To your point, they go up by 24 points.
They were accomplishing that.
Where is the killer instinct, man? And I do, I know Brian Pumpery was on our Turf Talk show. Like, VJ hasn't been as aggressive of late, I would say, offensively.
VJ Edgecrum.
VJ Edgecrum. This is jumping the gun a bit, but no, I don't know. I hated the way that game ended. It felt so familiar. It felt so similar to previous seasons where you've been in those big spots, and that's where I'm trying not to overreact and like compare this team to historical context, because it's just not fair right now. But it's hard. It's hard to take that trauma out of your head, man, like of these types of losses where this is unthinkable to get outscored at that, like to have like such polar opposites of halves. I mean, like Scotty 75 points to 36.
I mentioned the defense down the stretch. It wasn't even really. You scored 36 points in an entire second half, and not just that. Not even just
after
like
scoring 75.
Yeah, like exactly. Like not just on an overall bad night. Like nothing fell in Chicago. It sucks, and maybe they get blown out. But I can understand a night like that. You score 75. And then score 36, man. Cool. Like, and then top it all off, Quentin Grimes, who has been it was just such a weird ending, man. Quentin Grimes, who's been so good all year this year, goes 0 for 5 from 3 on this particular night. And after Vucevic puts them up with the corner 3, we still had time, call timeout, get on the other side of half of midcourt. Grimes has a wide open look to win the game, and obviously too heavy and doesn't fall.
Grimes was a game low -13 in that.
Yeah, he wasn't good on that particular night. The bench wasn't too good on that particular night.
Yeah.
Weird. Like, this is where Nick Nurse comes into play a little bit. Like why not throw Andre Drummond out there at all?
Yeah.
Like I didn't understand that. But look, to address, the VJ comments, because it's not just to Pumper's credit, it's not just Pumper in our comments. I've seen people on Twitter, you jumped the gun a little bit with how VJ started. Well, let's take a look at this game in question, right? Let's take a look at the Bulls game that they blew. VJ Edgecumbe, 12 points. Would you like him to play better, to score a little bit more? Of course, right? It's not like he didn't shoot the ball at all. It's not like he was, 3 for 7. He was 4 for 12. He had an off shooting night, but he was 2 for 3 from 3, made both of his free throws. 11 boards, 5 on the offensive glass, 4 assists, 2 steals. Like VJ, talking about the rookie not being aggressive enough just isn't the case or like he had a terrible night. Just wasn't the case in this come from behind win for Chicago.
Yeah.
So fucking relax when it comes to the kid, dude.
It's interesting, man, because like I literally, until I watched the Cleveland game, and it's a tail end of a back-to-back, I was gonna say VJ, the fact that he gets involved elsewhere, like if he's having a rough scoring night or not feeling it on the offensive end, goes in and he attacks the boards. Then you get to Cleveland, he has the 7 points and the 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He's 3 for 14, 0 for 5. It's not a good look. It's not a good stretch, I guess you could say. No. It's the tail end of a back-to-back. I talked to you about this yesterday after the show. It's like it's complex in my mind on when we discuss back-to-backs, because back-to-backs have always been around. So like when we give this pass for like being bad on a back-to-back, it almost feels wrong to me with my old school NBA brain. But no, I'm not going to be overly critical on VJ at the same time. To your point, though, at the end of the day, he's a rookie, man. If that's his bad night,
for sure,
that's not that bad by any means.
No, I agree. And the bad night did come on in the second half of the back-to-back against Cleveland. And it's a shame, man, because obviously this is just box score checking at this point now. The game was never close. Like I mentioned, I just needed them to cover 12.5. I live bet them plus 20.5 starting the fourth quarter, and they immediately went down 25. And I was like, oh, good God. Like, what did I do tonight? And they end up coming
back. They got it under 10 in the fourth.
Check it out.
At some point, they had got it under 10.
They had it at 9 with like 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, Maxey had 27, 50% shooting. Oubre, 19, 4 of 8 from 3. Trendon Watford was arguably the best player on the floor for most of this night. He had 16, 6 assists, 2 steals. And then Quentin Grimes, we just talked about how he couldn't hit anything for us and missed the game winner on Tuesday. He drops 27 on 9 of 15 shooting for this team on Wednesday night. I think my biggest gripe, man, like you mentioned, back-to-backs have been a thing, and it's like, all right, well, yeah, you're missing Joel, but like Joel wasn't going to provide any energy or spark to start the game on the second half. It's going to be always going to be the young guys. And I think that's what turns me off a little bit about Wednesday. Like we said, this was always going to be a game, if you had a pick, loss on the schedule, right? But and I know Maxey played well. I just mentioned 27, 10 of 20 shooting. What do you go? I mean, 2 for 5 from 3. Probably should have been a little bit more aggressive from beyond the arc, if I'm being honest. But regardless, the weird energy they can't, like, we were looking for them just to fight after dropping Chicago the way they did. How do you respond mentally, right? How do you look mentally? And the young guys came out and looked weak to start the game. I said to you, if I watched one more soft chest pass when the ball is brought across half court to the right boundary with Donovan Mitchell or some other defender face guarding the guy you're attempting to get the ball to, and it's a turnover going the other way for 2 points real quick. Dude, it happened like 4 times in the first half. Tyrese Maxey, although he had a good game numbers-wise, Tyrese Maxey turned the ball over, I think you mentioned it, 4 or 5 times in the first half alone in this game. VJ Edgecombe looked disinterested, just easily getting screened off by the rim for multiple layups when he's trying to help. Like, the young guys just looked soft to start the other night, and that's not how they lost the game. Again, I didn't expect them to win, but when you immediately start the game down like 14-2 in Cleveland, how did you think that night was going to go?
Yeah,
so
no.
You immediately put yourself in a fucking body bag the second this game started.
Look, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm going to contradict myself a little bit, and I was looking into this while you were talking. If you go to the Eastern Conference statistics and you go to minutes, the 3 leaders in the Eastern Conference in minutes per game are Tyrese Maxey first, VJ Edgecombe second, and Kelly Oubre number 3 at 37 minutes per night. Maxey's at 41 minutes per night. So it's like, I feel like a hypocrite. I feel like I'm contradicting myself.
Right. Right. Okay, sure.
Fair, I guess.
I guess what I'm saying is just like the lazy passes that turn into 2 points going the other way. Bro, that's not your legs.
They didn't start the season like this.
Going like this.
They were precise. Yeah.
Right. And look, and another thing, man, I said it was when they were down by like 18. It was it's the worst game I've seen them play all year. Obviously, they were by how much they were down, but just the fundamentals. And I know like Bona's undersized, and they were undersized against Mobley and Jared Allen, etc. But they were getting crushed on the offensive glass early in this game. And then, I mean, Scotty, think about this, bro. They lose this game by 11. Cleveland goes 16 of 17 from the free throw line. We went 21 of 30. We missed 9 free throws. Tyrese Maxey was 5 for 8. And again, that can go, I get it. That can go back to legs. That can go back to tired legs, all those minutes, second half, back to back. I understand it. 70% from the free throw line as a team? And you lose a game by if the Sixers made all 9, they still would have lost, and I'm sure the Cavs would have just scored more at the end of the game anyway, and they would have still end up losing by 10 or whatever. My point is, they did all the little things wrong in a game you were looking for them to respond mentally, and they did it. So now you're going to have 2 days off, back at home, with the throwback unis, the 0-1 court, hip-hop's bouncing around the stadium today.
The energy will be there.
Crowd is going to be fun this weekend. Toronto can score, so it'll be I'm sure it'll be a good game on Saturday night. And then you get a playoff Pistons team on Sunday night in the second half. I'm interested to see what night they decide to play Joel and McCain.
You know which night.
Them up. Do you play them? You think Saturday?
You know which night.
Saturday?
They're funny, man. They're funny. I will say the NBA's funny. Cavs on the tail end, Pistons on the tail end.
Right.
That's funny in itself. But I feel like the Sixers got out ahead of this situation in these back-to-backs when they said that it's not about the team or the competition that you're playing. It's about his schedule of rest. So it'll depend how far Sunday's game is from that next game.
Well, so then it's
Saturday
Tuesday at home. It's Tuesday at home against Boston.
So he'll play Saturday so he can play Tuesday. That'll be the reasoning at least. But
yeah.
But to your point, McCain, does McCain play? McCain looked bad to say the least. It's expected. He's got to get back into conditioning, but he's not the right guy to be unconditioned, if that makes sense. With his skill set, he's already kind of a defensive liability.
And look, I don't know what you're doing, but you had a thumb injury or that you had so no. Do you get what I'm saying? Your lower body was able to move. So and again, that's way, way different than basketball condition, than game condition. I'm not making a joke in that. No one was expecting him to be ready right now. But like you mentioned, the youth had a hand injury. I don't know. I was expecting.
I'm not gonna be too hard on him, but
no.
Yeah, it wasn't. There was
especially
no
good
point
t-shirt
that
you
I
got
remember.
on over there. Yeah.
I know. I'm supporting Duke today. They play tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. I think it's East Carolina or some shit. So should be an easy dub. But no, it was good to see him back. I do wonder, man. He cut his flow off. He cut his hair off. You don't mess with the flow.
My sister said something about that.
Maxie went through a little transition too, bro. When he switched from the dreads to the actual cornrows, he struggled a little bit, man. You can't mess with the flow when you're on a vibe, right?
Touche.
It's interesting though, but yeah, let's get a Sixers bounce back. It's the perfect opportunity to bounce back this weekend. You go out, you compete with the Raptors. You need to get that W. Obviously, it's the same situation as the Bulls. And then Sunday, let's get a better, more focused, more concentrated effort than what we got against Cleveland, right? You're going to be back home. You're not traveling. And this is, once again, another test. They're both tests, quite honestly. Yeah. To your point, Toronto's played decent.
And also, can I ask you before we wrap up here, what the fuck is the Dominic Barlow injury?
I had that written down. We could use him right now, with the lack of energy or whatever you want to call that. This past week,
I thought it was the elbow. I thought it was a left elbow laceration or something. I thought he had a
cut,
a deep cut or wound or something on his.
What is the injury? Let me look really quick.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought it said. Does it say something else now?
Let me see. Dominic Barlow.
Sixers. It says elbow out.
Elbow. Oh, okay.
It doesn't say what about the elbow. He's ruled out through the weekend from 4 minutes ago.
What the hell?
So I mean,
I'm ready. I want Paul George back too, man. Because like
Yeah.
that's what's going to be annoying as we go through this season. Are these little integration periods? And God forbid, man, knock on wood, you have any injuries, and then you have to reintegrate the injured players too from that point. But like,
Yeah.
PG's going to come back at some point and have to get back in shape and get back in the flow with the team, right? And we're going to have to go through that transition period. And then it's, we're going through the McCain thing right now, and then you'll get Barlow back, and then Embiid will come back at full capacity at some point without the limitations. So there's going to be some growing pains is kind of, I guess, what I'm trying to tell myself.
Rough. Yeah, and look, and you mentioned the PG name and Barlow, man, like this defense could use both of them so tremendously right now. And look, like you got Trendon Watford back, and he's playing well, and VJ's going to continue to grow. But like those two are going to change this defense a lot. The length that the Sixers can throw at wings and different looks they'll be able to throw once those two are ready to go. It's going to change the outlook and the outcome of a lot of this team as well. So
I do agree. I agree, man.
We'll see, bro. There he is. There he is. Just in time for the end of the show. We were asking for you earlier, bro.
Do you think, with VJ, right? Do you think part of it is I know that Embiid did not play on Wednesday night, right? So that's not the excuse. And I'm not blaming any side of it, but you do have to adjust playing with Embiid and finding that aggression point where, okay, do I shoot or do I pass it down low to the big man? Like these are decisions that he's just going to have to like grow comfortable with in his role.
Not even that, bro.
And to be fair, he's a role player on this team. That's all we're asking him to do.
Like,
so
that's what I'm not understanding. Pump is like when they're healthy this year, right? When they're healthy, and he's between Maxey, Embiid, Paul George, Quentin Grimes, Kelly. Like, what is your overall expectation for VJ? Like, did you watch the Boston game on opening night and go, this dude's going to average 30 for us? Like, no, that was never a fucking possibility. And also, like, the aggressiveness is one thing, and I do agree, man. But it's like, or you can just chalk up the back-to-back as poor shooting nights. He was 4 for 12 against Chicago, and he was whatever against Cleveland. He had bad shooting nights.
Because and I appreciate Pumper here, giving us the reason why he's saying this. Like I can see where you get to that because at Baylor he didn't really have a go-to move. So coming into the NBA, I feel you. Like he didn't really have a go-to offensive move. But in the first couple weeks before this last 2-game stretch, we saw that mid-range fadeaway jumper in the lane, and that was going down pretty regularly. That looked like the go-to move. So he just needs to get back in flow, man. He needs to get back on rhythm, back on schedule, and get his confidence right. And I think a little rest from Wednesday, come out aggressive tomorrow against Toronto. If we go through this weekend and we're going through the same struggles, then maybe the concern level goes up a little bit more, to be fair to Pumper in the last 2 games. But I'm just not. I didn't expect him to be an all-star this year. Like that was not my expectation for VJ Edgecombe.
But here's the frustrating part, man. Like Pumper, you're such a fraudulent dude, bro, because the first second this kid has a bad shooting night, it's a brick fest. VJ Edgecombe, his rookie season so far to date, Scotty, is averaging 39 minutes per game. 17.6 points per game. That's even after 12 and 7 in the back-to-back. In this, the 7 is his first single-digit night in the NBA. He has dropped 34, 15, 26, 14, 17, 16, 12, 7. Like he
has no grace. I mean, no grace for his favorite teams.
Here's where I'm at. Here's where I'm at with you, Pump. You're a clown. I'm grateful that you tune in. I thank you for following. You're going to be entered into the raffle, but you are a clown, my dude. Like I don't know what else to say about you. You hate on Jalen Hurts. VJ Edgecombe has a single-digit game for the first time in his first 8 basketball games, and the honeymoon phase is over, and he's a bum, and he has no offensive game. The kid's averaging over 17 and a half. And by the way, this wasn't supposed to, coming into his rookie year, this was not the part of the game we were expecting him to excel at. Right. 3-point, he went 2 for 3 from 3 the other night. The one game he hit 7. No one was expecting him to have the offensive bag right off the jump.
You're better at trolling than this. You're better at trolling than this. This is a troll. He's better at trolling than this.
I don't know
he makes
that
it look a little bit better.
Bro, and again, the dedication.
This is ridiculous. Too big to overcome. Like, come on. That's corny.
Right. His average is plummeting, Scott. He's averaging 17.6 a night. Brother, you are either the greatest troll and you are doing what you want to do on this Friday afternoon and rile me up, and congratulations, and hell, thank you. It probably makes better clips and content for us when you do this to me. But if you're being serious, you just lack any sports IQ. Like, you don't know football, you don't know basketball. If you're serious, if you're not serious, honestly, I don't even like trolls, but I'll respect your trolling. But like, that is such a fucking ridiculous thing to say about a rookie who's averaging over 17. Not only that, Scotty, he's averaging 4.8 assists and over 5.5 rebounds per game, and probably around a steal or 2 per game. Playing almost 40 minutes a night in the first 8 games.
Honestly, I would understand a little bit more if Pumper was coming for VJ defensively. I think I would understand it a little bit more.
Right.
Because that's what I did expect. I expected him to be able to come in and clamp.
The day he was drafted, people were like, he's already the best perimeter
Donovan
defender
Mitchell.
we have. Yeah.
What?
I said the day he was drafted, people were coming out saying he's already the best perimeter defender we have.
Right. That's what I expected. And I don't think he's lived up to that just yet. But once again, grace. He's given us success in other areas, man, and it's just not what I expect. Maybe Brian had higher expectations for him. I mean, he is the third overall pick.
No. Brian wanted Ace Bailey, and look, so me and you came on here. We did the draft, we did the lottery watch, we did the draft night watch. Like, I too was take the score, take the Ace Bailey. I think Ace Bailey's averaging like 4. What's Ace Bailey averaging right now? Dylan Harper's injured and Ace Bailey's not doing good.
I'm saying, Pumper, I agree. I agree with this. I'm saying if you came with this information, complaining about this, I think this would be valid. I want to see him be better defensively. He needs to get stronger. He needs all of that. But
to hate on the offensive ability.
The offense is weird. I don't know. Go-to move? What's he need a go-to move? He plays with Tyrese Maxey.
But Pumper,
Joel Embiid. Like, I don't understand why he would need a go-to.
I'm not disagreeing
now.
The only thing I'll say to you about Wednesday for this is, it didn't matter who was on him. You're just not stopping Donovan Mitchell on a night like that, right? But all right, he dropped 46 or whatever. How is that on VJ Edgecombe? Is it the rookie VJ Edgecombe's responsibility to take ball, or is that not Nick Nurse?
It's fair.
Implementing his game plan and putting who on.
It's fair. To Brian's point, VJ, you can step up and say, like, let me guard him. Like, you can do that. He can do that. He has that ability. Like, he should work with that confidence. So yeah, I think he should have guarded Donovan Mitchell. I think that is that was my expectation of him coming in. You go into these games against elite guards. Now you have a guy where you put Tyrese Maxey on the other guy. And you put this guy on the lead.
I agree with that. And
that would be my only disappointment with VJ so far.
From the moment he hopped in the chat, if he came after VJ defensively, because you and I talked about this off show the other day. But like, to attack the offensive ability when he's averaging over 17 and a half, it was just very odd. And like, who has he stopped in 8 games? Like, I feel like this is getting towards like recency bias, because like, was he not guarding Derek White and Jaylen Brown on opening night and limiting that? So, like, I don't know, like, whatever. But, Brian, we'll talk
another
thigh ball, man. We'll see how this weekend goes for the Sixers in a back-to-back.
Another thigh ball is
Packers
crazy.
Monday Night Football. I'm sure we'll hear. Yeah. I mean, you just, again, you lose my respect on your ball opinion.
Please, Sixers,
whenever
come out and perform this weekend.
The game is insane.
Please.
Yeah. Oh, VJ Edgecombe, please go out, clamp somebody, and drop 22. Because if he does, I promise we won't have Brian in the chat on Monday. You won't see Brian on Monday. You won't.
Or he'll find somebody else to pick on. It'll be Grimes or McCain or somebody else.
Yes. Yeah.
The one that plays bad,
With
he'll
that
pick that one to
said,
talk
we
about.
appreciate each and every one of you, including Corporate B Pumper. Make sure to subscribe, follow us on Twitter at DSM_media. We will be back Sunday on Turf Talk, and we will be back obviously Monday, like I mentioned, on the Phaithful Fanatic Show and DSM pregame live. Peace out, everybody, and enjoy your weekend.
Peace, everybody.